you doing? Hello.
So what's up?
Oh, yes. I'm doing a story about Russian athletes in the wake of the story today. And since you've coached in Russia and the U.S., I was wondering if you could shed light on, I guess, kind of the allegations that people claim about doping and whether or not it truly exists.
So, I think what happened is these two countries have really different mentality about everything. Everything. After this 15, 16 years living in the U.S., I start to realize that more and more and more. So athletes are more dependent in Russia than in U.S., which is obvious, right? You understand that part, right?
Yes.
So athletes are more dependent in Russia than they independent in U.S. In U.S., guys, all athletes are develop themselves. And in Russia, they build them up according to systems they live in. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So whenever you are part of system, part of mechanism which develops you as a person, as a human being, as an athlete, especially, you will take everything differently than me. If I independent person, I want to skate, I skate. I want to go to school, I go to school, and and you guys to realize what's going on there. It's so difficult even me to explain to you.
So do you think if the athletes are taking any of these performance-enhancing drugs, do you think they even think they're doing anything wrong because it's being what they're being told to do?
Dave, just speak slower, please. Slower.
Okay. If the athletes do take meldonium or whatever do they even think they're doing anything wrong?
No, I don't think so. That's what I'm talking. See, it's so difficult to explain to you. So whenever athlete after he's 5, 6 years old, all the time he goes to some club and his father and mother brings him there. Even he have no chance to watch practices. Can you imagine that?
It's very different, yeah.
See, it's very different. So mother are not allowed to come on ice and watch what his kids are practicing, because a coach is not allowed. So every single session, every single practice, paid by government basically most of time, and they get on ice, and we could say, you're not allowed to come and watch. It's my training, and I don't want you to watch. I could close the door if some coach would come to my practice. I would say, you're not allowed to watch my practice. I mean, you cannot imagine that, right?
No.
So, see, that's why to explain to you what that athlete feels whenever coach suggests him to get some skills, do you think he will have doubt about coach wishes him best?
No.
Because he just grew up with him. I was teaching my student, Alex, up 14 years. 14. I was only his coach. You cannot imagine that again, right?
No. Everybody switches here. So
yeah, 14 years I was teaching him. And so basically what happened is these athletes are more dependent because of, let's say, if there is a coach which have kind of ethic whenever he would say, I never want to use anything for my athletes because of I want them to win clean.
Mm-hmm.
That's one story. But if there is coach which is have that dirty mind, then he would say, oh, that's good to use it. Mm-hmm. And that athlete would follow his advice.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot blame basically athlete. It's a kind of part of culture, part of system. I don't know, name it. I don't know what way you can name that, but it's a part of cultural part.
Mm-hmm. Tuktamisheva said that she took meldonium the year that she won the world championships, and she competed 13 times that season. Could Ashley or Adam compete 13 times? What kind of strain does that put on the body?
So, see, any drugs which is not allowed yesterday and not allowed today, that's a question. Do you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There is a problem. Problem is something was not allowed yesterday, and today it's not allowed. They announced that as a drug.
Mm-hmm.
Till they not announce maybe something tomorrow, maybe somebody takes it today.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know?
Yeah, it's true.
So that's a biggest issue of drugs and legalization of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
We see so many athletes which start to talking about, if you will go through history, you would say some athletes was dying from something. Something went wrong. She almost died. Mm-hmm. And that's why she takes that medicine. And then she is still alive. She didn't die. There are some examples.
Mm-hmm.
Can you remember that examples? Even
yes.
American. Even American.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So let's, guys, make it clear.
Mm-hmm.
And clear is, whenever athlete does that, and he said, I'm dying, so that's why I'm taking that pill, and then, she never dies anymore, but, the drug helps him to recover better, to train more, to add more power to his jumps, or whatever he does.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one story. Another story is whenever government involved. Mm-hmm. Another story whenever coach involved. Mm-hmm. Another story whenever Olympic committee involved. Mm-hmm. Another story whenever federation is involved. Mm-hmm. Let's divide that two parts. One part is whenever athlete does that, and he's responsible for it. Another question is whenever Olympic committee is involved or federation is involved, and makes these young kids to do that.
I guess how many skaters do you think are doing something? Probably.
I am not. It's not my job to say how many does that or how many not. What I'm talking is, obviously, problem is what is legal today and what would be not legal tomorrow. That's a big question. Because there is always fight. Somebody creates some new drugs, and maybe same person then catches it. That's the funniest point. Somebody creates a drug and they take it for some time, maybe half year, 1 year, then same person catches that drug and says that's illegal. Maybe, I don't know. I am not, I am not involved with that business. And that's what my point is. And second is if officials are involved or not.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest issue. Officials must not be involved of that. And if somebody does that, officials must be against that, action.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes.
That's what that's what I can see today, and that's what I feel today.
I've heard that you knew the Russians were doing different things in Sochi. Is that true?
We can create so many rumors. Rumors, it's rumors. Russians was doing or they was not doing. Do you understand? Not you, Dave, not me. We are not that people who catch them. We can only hear some rumors. But if that happened, there must be somebody who would catch it and bring on surface. And in Sochi, that never happened. So why not? Is there a question? Why not?
Yeah. I guess we see Nathan, who, is doing quads. I guess how, much pounding can the body take? How delicate of a balance is that as an athlete? How hard can you push?
Everybody have his own guts, how much he wants to push. And whenever it's made natural way, that's one story. Whenever it's he helps himself by doing drugs, that's another story. That's not fair. That's what I would say. There is no fair whenever using something else to compete against natural athletes. Whenever I was talking to Michelle Kwan about, I said, Michelle, most of athletes, they using it, especially whenever they get older. And she said, Rafael, my ethic will not allow me to do it. I will never, ever will allow myself to do anything. That's what all my life was based on. That's the answer of real athlete.
It's true. Do you think that she was at a disadvantage against competitors because she wasn't doing it?
I think so. I think so. If you will pull stories same time, there was person who was dying same time.
Yes.
Just pull up stories. And you can see, I don't want to mention names, I never do. But there was somebody who was dying same time. She's alive.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's very interesting. Yeah. Do your athletes train programs more in the U.S. than they did in Russia?
I mean programs, skating, way they train?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, it's different. It's different. American athletes are trained a little bit different than Russians. And, maybe according to, those cultural approach, again, they're more manageable and you can skate your program piece by piece because of coach every time with you, and he can piece by piece put your full program together after maybe few months. In the US, they more simple, put music on and skate whole program. So different. But I like what we do here. I like it a lot. And if you professional athlete and you really want to get on top, you still have opportunities according to now what USFSA start to help to athletes to get better places to train and we got better place to train, so we basically start to feel we can do more than we did before. So we'll see.
How many new students do you have?
Me, a lot.
Yeah,
a lot. I try to get some selection. I got new young skaters for next cycle of Olympics. Try to make them to train this 2 years before this one and see if we can get for next Olympics somebody else. So it's basically my kind of approach to teach. I always have some older ones which gives experience to younger ones, so they help me out with that. So I have my own system.
Well, thank you so much. This is very helpful.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rafa.
Always nice to talk to you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.